Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. Happy Friday to you. I think, yeah, Friday. This is nice, man. Coach Kyle Evans, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, coming at you for your daily checkup from the neck up. We get the chance, we get the opportunity to go out and build our businesses, to go out and build our legacies today. Let's make today count. You know, my counterpart, Marcus Heflin, likes to call it Finish Strong Friday. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is exactly what I plan on doing today, man. Join us today as we continue on our client obsession series. How do we go to create a community? How do we go from being transactional to tribal, to building a tribe? That's what we're going to dive into today. What are some of the things? What are some of the mindsets? What are some of the psychological triggers that we can use to build a referral community that is so big and so robust and so fervent in fighting for us as their agent that lead generation becomes just lead follow up? What would it look like to build that sort of referral empire? That sort of those sort of gladiators fighting for you in the field, that you wouldn't have to spend days, weeks, months, years just constantly hunting new people and talking to strangers over and over and over again. What if your business became something like by referral only? What was the show with Will Smith? Hitch. What if you were the Hitch of real estate? I don't know if that one works, but I guess time will tell on that. And here we go, guys. Let's dive in, man. As a quick recap, this week we were talking about, again, the client obsession. How do we become that sort of silver shining star for people? A few days ago, we talked about giving service versus experience, right? Service is dead, long live the experience. Yesterday, we talked about creating micro moments that drive massive loyalty. And today, like I said, we're going to be going from transactional to tribal. How do we go from the transaction to building a tribe of people? How do we move our clients from a one-time customer to a lifetime community? Let that sink in. Let's get into it, y'all. Here we go. Section 1, the problem with transactional thinking. Let's be honest. Most businesses, myself included, especially in real estate, sometimes, if not all the time, we live in a transactional mode. We're going and going and going. We're get one under contract, and now we're looking at the next deal. We're just burning up the phones trying to find business. And I get it, in this market, it can be challenging because it's kind of frothy. I'll never forget, and I tell the story all the time. I was sitting at one of the conferences, Meg Camp Family Reunion, one of them, and I wish I would have gotten this lady's name because I brag on her all the time. But she said, you know, whenever I started treating my clients like people instead of paychecks, instead of transactions, my business exploded. She was doing like 400 deals a year. So I'm pretty sure that one could say that it worked. You see, a lot of times we get caught up in closing the deal. Let's get this thing closed. Let's get it across the finish line. Let's get this check. Let's get this bread. Let's get this money. And then let's hope for a review. And then we repeat. It feels like a never ending hamster wheel. That model is a revolving door. We spend all of our energy trying to acquire new clients, I get it. I'm a coach. I'm a speaker. Half the crap we talk about is how can we go source and build new clients? I get it. But what if, hear me out, the theme of this week, what if we were just activating the ones that we already have? That's where this mindset shift happens. We don't want clients. We want members. We want them to feel like they just joined something bigger than a deal. We want them to feel part of a community that they fight for, that they advertise for, that they're proud to be a part of. Think about this for yourself. Like, when's the last time you joined a tribe or a community? Like your kid's school. If you got little ankle biters out there like me, go Dragons. Like, we're all a part of the St. George community now. Like, let's go Dragons. That's part of the tribe. That's part of the thing. We'll be there until they're not there. Or my CrossFitters out there, my people, you join a CrossFit gym, you let that kind of brand you. There's a joke I like to tell about CrossFitters, and it's like this. How do you know that somebody is in CrossFit? Don't worry, they'll tell you. There you go. But it's because it's such a tribal community. What about a mastermind or a coaching program? People in my roster, people on Maps, people in Maps Masteries talks about that. They're like, hey, man, I'm part of this community. What about your church? What about a charity organization that you live and breathe? These are tribes. You don't just show up for the service. You came because it means something. You feel like you belonged. That's what we're aiming for with our business. That's the idea that we're looking to create. Instead of just moving and revolving door, how do we get members? How do we get people who are passionate like our kids' school or like a CrossFit gym or like a church or like a charity, like a coaching and mentor program? Does it mean something to them? So let's break this down. What makes it feel like that? Sociologists say that tribes have three core elements. Number one, they have a shared identity. People like us, things like this. People are like us, and we do things like this. In real estate, that could be first time home buyers, that could be investors, that could be move up families, that could be veterans. What is their shared identity? How can you offer them a shared identity that they can belong to? The second thing that tribes have, one of the core elements, is a shared language and shared rituals. Tribes have their own ways of speaking, their own ways of celebrating, their own ways of connecting. Your brand should have some signature moments built in, whether it's your unique welcome, whether it's milestone surprises, whether it's what you do at closing tables, whether it's parties or events that you hold, branding. Like, what is the shared rituals that you have for them? What are some language patterns that you could create? Some taglines, right? The third thing is connection beyond the transaction, right? So we have a shared identity, we have language and rituals, and then we have connection beyond the thing, beyond the moment, beyond the transaction. It's not just about what they bought, what they did, it's about who they became along the way. Disney is really good at this. Harley Davidson, motorcycle clubs, really good at this. Keller Williams, really good at this. They have a shared identity. They have Kellerisms, right? Shared language and rituals. They have connection and group and community beyond. You don't just buy, you join, you become. You see, when people feel like they join your tribe, they don't just refer you. This is what I'm trying to get at here, people. They don't just refer you, they defend you. They rep you. They become your walking billboard. That's what we're looking for. I want people to be fighting for you in rooms that you're not in conversations that you don't even know are happening. That's how we build a tribal business. So, do we have a shared identity? Are we introducing shared rituals and language patterns? And is there a connection beyond the moment, beyond the transaction? Kyle, all this sounds great. How do I employ this into my world? How do I bring this in? Here's how we infuse this sort of tribe building, this sort of tribal mentality into our real estate business. Number one, let's have a client welcome kit. Think about that. Client welcome kit, not just paperwork, not just paperwork. What about a welcome to the family vibe? Maybe a branded mug, list of local favorite spots with a personal note, a personal touch, personal review by each. What if it's a QR code of a private client circle Facebook group or newsletter? As we dive into this, I want you to be thinking about that. And this was when I was preparing for this, man, I'm just taking these notes and thinking about implementing them to our world. Like, how many times is our newsletter just a newsletter and not a tribal circle where they get their updates? We asked this question in bold. What's a newsletter that's so good, so valuable, so community driven that people would never hit unsubscribe? So, what about a welcome kit? Introducing them to the spot. The next one is naming your community. I love this idea. Don't just be Kyle Evans Real Estate. You're the Homeward Movement, the Next Chapter Collective. You're the Legacy Building Tribe. People want to belong to something named so they can own it emotionally. It's one of the reasons our organization is called Constellation instead of Kyle's Real Estate Team. I want them to have ownership and feeling of engagement and involvement, something that they can have a piece of. Name your community, whatever it is. And if you don't have a branded team or group or real estate business, you can still brand the community that they come into. Get on your favorite friend ChatGPT, start talking about some things that you like, some things that define you, and ask it for good ideas on community names. How can we bring that sort of mentality very simply to our people? The next thing is ongoing touch points with meaning. You hear this a lot, especially inside the ecosystem. Are you hosting events just for past clients, just for people part of the tribe, part of the community? Whether it's a fall festival, right? Pie day, movie night. We see a lot of agents do very, very well with this. There's an agent in our community. She sells, I don't know, like 100 or so homes a year by herself. I think she has like an admin, and she goes hardcore in the paint on Christmas parties, like extravagant. This is her big thing every year, and people fight to go to them. That's building a community. That's building a tribe. Could you send handwritten notes? Hello, on the anniversary of their purchase. Could you include, and I love this idea, and I think we're missing this one, could you include behind the scenes of your growth to make them feel like an insider? You see, I think a lot of times we don't do things like that because it can appear braggadocious. But what if it was because they were an insider? They get to see what's happening, how you're doing the things. They feel involved, part of it, connected. What about language shifts? I think this is a big part as well. Words matter, yes or yes. Stop saying, and this is, I'm talking to myself here, stop saying client database. Start saying your community. If you can take one thing from this, one thing that's easily introducible, one thing that you can easily and simply start doing today, stop calling it your database, start calling it your community. P.S. I'm doing that. That's what I'm going to do. Another idea is you can call people founding members. Hey, founding members. You celebrate their wins publicly. Welcome Bill to the tribe. Welcome Francine to the tribe. You start claiming it as a community and not just a deal. Great ideas that we can absolutely start putting into to build that feeling of belonging, that feeling of community. You know, a few years ago, I helped these people buy their house. And when they bought it, their kid was just born under a year, right? And so I sent them a baby onesie with just our icon on it. Just this, right? Not Constellation Home Sales, just the icon, just a onesie, little cuteness. And then after, when I sent it, I sent a note and said, hey, listen, your daughter's going to take her first steps here. Can't wait to watch all the memories you guys make in this house. Cute, right? Cheesy. Love it. Everybody likes queso. Here's where it gets interesting. I got invited to every single one of her birthdays after the fact. Everyone. That's having people feel like part of a community. That's transcending the transaction. Put that on a t-shirt. I want you to transcend the transaction. I was part of the story. I was part of the tribe. So were they. How can we start building that sense of community? You want to make this real? Here's some things that you can start off today. Like I talked about the newsletter. What if it's a client insider email list? What if you stop saying on your calls, hey, would you like to be part of our monthly newsletter? You said something like, hey, would you like to be part of our client insider list? That's a different meaning. That's a different power. Inside of it, share private updates, share local events, share tips, share client-only perks, maybe a deal that you worked out with some vendors. Maybe once a month you go find another vendor and add some sort of deal. Make it feel exclusive. Make it feel like they are part of something and not everyone else is. Exclusivity breeds interest. Another thing that you can think about doing, and I know not everyone will do this one, but I think it's really good, is having a shared phrase, a little catchphrase, a little zing. Hey, welcome home. Welcome to the tribe. Another family, another legacy. Something that gives you identity, something that is part of the brand, something that's part of the community, and repeat it everywhere. Have your clients repeat it, have them put it in posts, have them make hashtags about it. What is something that you can do to begin to brand a feeling, a vibe? Another idea, and this is something that I have a lot of room for growth in, is you can make closings a ceremony. I sometimes, and by sometimes I mean most of the time, don't go to closings. Am I missing the mark for a ceremony? Yeah, I am. What if you treat it like a graduation? You pop some champagne, took a video, gave a custom key tag, made them feel the moment. I know a lot of you out there are doing this well. For those of you who aren't, something to consider. None of these are things you must do. These are all options that you can think about employing and implementing into your business. The next one here, and I think everyone should do this. And I'm considering now, I'm just like listening to this. I have it for other things and not for my business. And I'm like, man, how do we miss this? Have a private community space for just your people named in the brand. Is it a Facebook group? Discord? What is it? WhatsApp? Like whatever works. The key is ongoing connection that isn't salesy. It's just relational. How can you bring people together in a community, a group on Facebook that is just informational and relational, and you're just giving value, giving updates? And it's not Kyle's Real Estate, right? It's Homeward Bound. Great movie, by the way. Can you launch a private space? By the way, you can, because it costs $0. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of effort. And a lot of times we confuse effort with being hard. It's not hard. It's just going to require some effort. Are these little tweaks some things that you can commit to? I believe the answer is a resounding yes. The question is, do you choose to be a part of it or not? Are you going to choose to do some of the things that is going to make your business grow when others are shrinking, that is going to make your business stand the test of time, that is going to build gladiators in the field for you, fighting for you in rooms that you're not even in? Let's land this plane. Are you treating your clients like a passerby or like citizens of a community you're building? Are you treating your clients like passersby or like citizens of a community that you're building? Powerful question to be thinking about every single day. Guys, this isn't fluff. This is brand. This is belonging. This is how you go from being one of many to the one they never stop talking about. So here's your challenge. If you're up to it, name your tribe, write it down, say it out loud, own it. What is your tribe going to be? How are you going to move forward with this? How are you going to be part of your client's favorite story to tell? Until the next time we meet, man, don't just deliver results. Create a place that people are proud to belong to. They are proud to claim as their own. They want a sense of community. Let's go out there and build it. We are not just real estate agents. We are decision architects. We are masters of life transitions. We are community builders. Let's go build something bigger than ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, this is the Grow Show. And I am Kyle Evans, and I am honored to be a part of your journey. I will see you bright and early Monday morning. Until then, go build your tribe. Go build your community. Go do something great today. See you later.